Hey everyone, John here again. Today I wanted to come to you guys and just talk to you about um, wants, wishes, and your goals. So lately, there's been a lot of discussion in and out of veteran community, transitioning service members, all that. Uh, People looking for their next thing in life. And this applies to even if you're not a veteran or you're not transitioning out of the military, maybe you're in a job. Maybe you're looking for that new thing, a new career, change of plans. Are you finding yourself saying, "Oh, I really want this," or "I really wish I could do that," or "be here," or "do this job"? I really want to be able to provide for my family this certain way, or I really wish I could do this job from here in my location. And that's good. It's good to see those things and have dreams about them. But my question to you is, what are you doing about it? A lot of people are quick to say, "Oh, I wish I could have that," or "I wish I could have these opportunities. I really want to do this." Okay, so what's stopping you? Why are you not out there going to get it? And it usually boils down to two things. One, you're not being realistic with what you're wanting or wishing for. Two, you're not willing to put in the work for it. Or three, you have put yourself in a situation where you just refuse to do it. Uh, if you actually take the time, if you want a specific job, for example, what are you willing to do it, to get there, to be competitor for that job? If your if your answer is, well, I don't have that experience there. Okay, so what are you going to do to fix it? What are you going to do to get that experience? And either one or two things are going to happen. You're going to develop a plan to get you there, or you're going to develop excuses of why you can't. And it really boils down to that, not out here trying to sound mean or harsh or rude, but really, it's on you. If you want something that bad, you're going to set out a goal. You're going to figure out how to get it, how to accomplish it, and how to achieve it. If not, you're going to find an excuse. So it's either you really didn't want it that bad or you're not willing to put in the work. You have to accept it. In the transition space, all too often I'm hearing a lot of veterans, well, I want to have this really good job, but I I want to do remote, or I don't want to leave this area, or I can't because of family dynamic. And that may be true, but now you have to be realistic with what you're asking for, what you're wanting. You know, if you want a job in a certain industry and that industry is not where you are, you either have to accept that you're going to have to move and relocate, or you're going to have to accept that you cannot have that job if it's not in that area. And listen, remote jobs are great, especially if you want to do the remote job kind of deal. But you and everyone else is going for a remote job. You and a whole lot of cybersecurity people, and tech support, you're all wanting to go for this remote job. There are veteran spouses out there. They're looking to go for remote jobs as well. They have a very unique dynamic, and it's hard. But if you and the rest of the world want a remote job, there's only so many remote jobs out there. The good thing is more and more are coming out every day, but so is the job pool going after that. So is the talent going for that. So you're going to have to set yourself apart if you're going to compete for those, and that's fine. So it goes back to the original thing. If you really want it that bad, what are you doing to get there? Right? Are you setting those goals? Are you becoming competitive? Are you getting the certificates and experience needed? Are you going out there and doing internships? Are you applying for other jobs? What are you actually doing to get there? Now, if you're one of the few who's not making up excuses, you've realized you want something, you're willing to put in the work for it, it's time to develop your roadmap to get there. And what I'm about to talk about isn't anything new under the sun. You've all probably heard it, especially military folks. You've heard it in a capacity, maybe not specifically this capacity, but you've heard it. Are you putting in a SMART goal? Right? One of the things that happens in the military, especially on our evaluations, is you need stuff that's measurable. Can you quantify and qualify what you're doing? It's the same thing with your goals.
So the simple acronym, most of you probably heard it, SMART. Is it specific? Is your goal specific? Are you going for something broad? Because it's going to be harder to obtain if you have a very broad goal. You need to go for something very specific, and you have to make it measurable. That way you could see your progress going towards that goal. Is the goal achievable, right? You can't make a big audacious goal if you can't actually achieve it, right? Saying I want to have $1 million tomorrow, probably not achievable outside of winning the lottery, right? So make sure the goal is achievable. Is it relevant? Is your goal relevant to what you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish, where you're trying to be? I could say, hey, I want to have this degree so I could go get a cybersecurity job, but if the degree is underwater basket weaving, that's not going to help me towards my goal, right? And is it time bound? You have to set your time limits, right? I want to have this certificate with this experience, by this date, by this very specific date. And what are my milestones to get there? Okay, have I enrolled? Have I paid my dues? Have I started classes? Have I interviewed for jobs? Am I already doing the job? Right? Are those steps necessary? And if they are they the right ones? Are you able to do it? And can you do them all in that timeline? Right? So follow the smart goal setting is your basic start guide right there, right? Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Put the timestamp on it. You will accomplish it by this day. All right. It's the same thing, for you military folks. You have a PT test. You have to run a certain distance by a certain time. You have to do so many push ups, sit ups, pull ups, whatever the case, in a certain time. Those are the goals. You have to meet those goals. You have to ruck so far in a specific amount of time with a specific amount of weight. And if you're not there, you have to train up for it. Again, you're still using these metrics. You're still advancing. Okay, well, I'm going to start, rucking with this weight, and I'm going to add this much weight and go this far. And then the next week, I'm going to go further with a little more weight until you're able to achieve those goals. It's the same thing right now. In a lot earlier, a few months ago, we talked about finding your why. Why are you doing this? Why are you getting up in the morning? Why are you pushing for these goals? So stop making excuses. If it's something you really want and it's something you're really wishing for, you're going to have to develop that plan. You're going to have to go for it. Stop making the excuses. And listen, I would love to tell you, hey, once you start that journey, it's great. You got it. You're going to go. Well, you will get it. It's not going to be easy, though. It's not always going to be easy. It's not always rainbows and sunshine, because if it is, everyone would be doing it. Everyone would have it. Everyone would be a business owner. Everyone would be a millionaire. Everyone would, live in this kumbaya land. That's not reflective of life. It is not. But what separates those who succeed and excel is that drive, is that willingness to push through when it's tough, when it looks hopeless, when it feels like you want to give up. You got to push through. You got to push through. This is where that realism and relevancy comes into play. You don't want to be chasing a false dream that is actually not realistic. If you're doing that, all right, that's a different scenario. But if you've set realistic goals with realistic timelines and realistic steps, it's not always going to be easy, but you could do it. Push through it. You have to advance. You have to be willing to do today what others won't, so you could get to the place and do things tomorrow that others can't. Same thing with, working on your physical fitness. You have to be willing to train harder, go faster, go further, lift heavier. You're not going to be able to do it all right away in one night, but you have to keep going. You have to push through the barriers. You have to break the ceiling, and you have to go for it. And guys, I highly recommend, get yourself a coach, get yourself a mentor, get yourself an accountability partner that who will hold you true to what you want to do, right? Bounce the idea off them, tell them your plan, tell them how you're going to do it, the timelines, and make them hold you accountable to that. And that's what your coaches are for. Those coaches are there to get you to that next level. They will get you to that next level. That's what they're there for. That's why they're a coach. They're not going to do it for you, but they're going to help you get there. They're going to coach you through it. They're going to mentor you through it. They're going to guide you through it. They're going to give you the feedback. It's up to you to put in the work. But you guys, you'll be happy once you do. You will hit those goals. You'll hit those achievements. Your wishes become realities, right? It's no longer, oh, I wish I could or I want to. Well, now you are, right? Because you put in the work, you set the goals, and you did it. And, guys, I'm in your corner 100% of the way, 100%. I got your back. I'll help you out any way, shape, form I can. I could be your coach. I could be your sounding board. I could be your guiding star. But I just want you to do it. I just want you to get out there and stop wishing, stop wanting, and just go for it. Just go for it. What do you have to lose? Right? You're going to stay in the world of excuses and comfortability and then be like, when you're 80, 90, oh, I wish I would have done this. Or are you going to do it now? So when you're 80 and 90, you can be like, yeah, nothing held me back. But anyway, guys, hey, always here for you. Whenever you need a voice, you ever need to talk to, or just want to connect, hey, always here for you. You guys have a good night.